Part 2, subject and content for art appreciation. So for starters, we have the following definitions for subject, content, and form. Subject is the essence of your artwork. It is the visual focus or the image that may be extracted from examining the artwork. Take note na hindi lahat ng artwork merong subject, pero lahat ng artwork meron siyang meaning or meron siyang content na sinasabi. Content naman is the meaning that is communicated by the artist or the artwork. Whether that meaning ay parehas or iba sa perceived message ng kanyang audience, content will be the underlying meaning of the artwork. Third natin ay form. It has something to do with the development and configuration of the artwork. It is how the elements and the medium or material are put together. Or how did you make your artwork? For this topic, we'll be focusing sa subject. So the subject of the artwork refers to the main idea that it represented in the artwork. To determine the subject matter in a particular piece of art, one may be guided by the following questions. What is actually depicted in the artwork? What is the artist trying to express to the world? What is his or her message? And how are they conveying that message? Once again, some artworks have subjects and some do not. Possible kasi, lalo na kung mga abstract art, yan ay nakabase sa ideals, principles, or perspective ng artist. Pero kanyang subject cannot be determined immediately by the audience. In terms of subject, we can categorize it either representational or objective art, o kaya naman non-representational or non-objective art. When we say representational art, it means na yung particular artwork na yun ay merong depiction to a real object. So just like what we have right here, meron siyang same scenario in real life. Kaya siya tinawag na representational art or objective art. They appeal directly to the senses, primarily because of the organization of their expressive elements. So ang kanyang nire-represent ay nature as well as the people. Take note na kung aalamin natin yung subject ng isang artwork, i-examine niyo kung ano yung focus niya. Dito ang kanyang pang-focus ay yung nature or people. Since ang pinapakita sa artwork ay kung anong ginagawa ng mga farmers, therefore, ang kanyang focus ay farmers or yung people. Kaya ang type of subject for this particular representational art ay people. Apart from that, whenever we say representational art, ito ay common for the contemporary art as well as yung pagiging realistic. It doesn't mean na hindi realistic yung color. For example, ng isang painting ng tree ay hindi na natin siya makakategorize as representational art. Whether realistic or not ang isang picture or ang isang image, as long as makadetermine natin na nag-e-exist yung object na yun in real life, that can be considered as representational art. Whereas, ang non-representational art naman, kinalaman to sa subconscious or sa composition and representation of the elements of art. So it is a mimesis. Non-representational doesn't have a concrete reference of that particular artwork in real life. Most of the time, ito ay abstract art. Kaya siya tinawag na abstract, non-representational, non-figurative, or non-objective art kasi merong departure from reality or meron tayong tinatawag na imagery art dun sa artwork. Meaning, non-representational art is highly subjective and can be difficult to define, and we can focus on the elements of the artwork just like the form, shape, line, color, space, and texture to determine its aesthetic value, and the meaning will always be personal in this sense, personal to the viewer, unless the artist has made a statement about his or her intention. Generally, We can look at non-representational art as a personal expression of an artist's subject experience. Certain movements have been described their attention as an aim to evoke emotions or moods from the viewer. Possible naman na maging mixture ang isang artwork ng representational and non-representational art. When it comes to sources of subject naman, we have nature, people, history, legends, religion, mythology, dreams and fantasy, and technology. Ito yung mga general categories. Take note, hindi lang ito ang possible na panggalingan ng inyong subject. Ilan lang ito sa mga possible sources of subject. Dito, kinukuha ninyo yung inspiration para makapaggawa ng isang artwork. And then, we all have individual personalities and unique experiences. Kaya itong mga factors ito would determine the kind of type of subject that we are going to work on to represent the artwork that we want. As you know, art is human expression, and the artist's choice of subject are clues to their inner world, which tells viewers how their art should be interpreted. Nature is the broadest sense. It is equivalent to the natural world, physical universe, material world, or material universe. Nature here refers to the phenomena of physical world and also life in general. It is considered the most commonly used source of art. Nature includes mountains, trees, animals, landscapes, seascapes, cloudscapes, and other nature-inspired art. For people naman, they are considered the most interesting subject of artwork, which may be real or imagined. An artist's thoughts, moods, or even the genre of a certain artwork may be depicted by people by means of clues or by clues as takeaways. So people as subjects may be presented as individuals or groups and may perform tasks as how they do in their everyday life. For the definition ng real or imagined na subject, ng under ng people ay ang Mona Lisa. Next, history. It is the depiction of factual events that occurred in the past, whose purpose is to either remember important events of long ago or to teach the learners about the lessons of the past. For example, yung Bonifacio Monument it serves as a commemoration of that particular historical event. Tatandaan kapag history ang subject, ito ay verifiable. So kahit pa sabihin niyo na, ma'am, pwede naman siyang i-categorize sa people. Alamin niyo muna, meron bang history na nakapaloob dun sa artwork na yun bago niyo sabihin na siya ay people. Artworks based on legends present to viewers something tangible even when unverified. So kung sa history kailangan verifiable, sa legends pwede itong unverified. So art brings life to these stories. Kung sa Pilipinas, meron tayong legend ni Malakas at Maganda, hindi po ba? So once na magawa tayo ng artwork inspired by the legend of Malakas at Maganda, therefore, ang kanyang subject ay legend. Eh ma'am, hindi po ba siya mag-fall under ng people? Since si Malakas at Maganda naman can be considered as imagined people. Take note na whenever we are examining the subject matter of the artwork, meron tayong mga guide questions. Sa guide questions na yun, pinaparating dito or meron tayong question na what is actually depicted in the artwork, what is the artist trying to express to the world, what is her or her message, and how are they conveying the message. Kung titingnan natin yung, halimbawa, painting ni Malakas at Maganda, what is actually depicted in this artwork? Possible na sabihin natin kung tayo knowledgeable about that ay figures ng male and female. Then what is the artist trying to express to the world? In this sense, you will dig deeper. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin? Or ano yung gustong iparating ng artist sa kanyang audience? Ngayon, dito papasok yung backstory ng painting ni Malakas at Maganda, followed by what is his or her message. Then it will be answered kung tungkol saan ba or ano yung story ni Malakas and Maganda. Then how are they conveying that message? To convey that message, they will put together in a painting or in a picture si Malakas at Maganda at kung ano yung origin nung story or kung anong origin nung legend, as well as yung background niya will be nature-like. Kaya, kinakategorize natin yung Malakas at Maganda na painting under ng legends at hindi under ng people. Si religion naman has played an enormous role in inspiring works of visual arts, music, architecture, and literature through ages. Artists use religion as inspiration, especially the religious texts as the Bible, Quran, and Torah, in conveying their ideas and beliefs in their artworks. It was also established that art is considered the handmaid of religion. Halimbawa ay yung mga figurines or yung mga santo para sa mga Christians. That is an example of art wherein ang subject ay religion. Si mythology naman, ito ay pwedeng from ancient Greece, Rome, Norse, and Egyptian. Whenever we talk about mythology, ito yung mga stories of gods and goddesses. So these are so-called deities of the mythological world which depict present human-like behaviors. So itong mga figures na to ay usually makikitaan natin ng perfection sa sculpture or dun sa image nila. Kaya ma-determine natin na siya ay mythological or gods and goddesses or the deities. Then we have dreams and fantasy. So the wonder of the unconscious is what is being expressed by artworks under this source of subject, the subject source. So these works of art somehow explain to the viewers the content of the art piece, including the hidden message behind each work. The unconscious is being made to be understood by this source of subject. Therefore, most of dreams and fantasy ay product of the imagination of the artist. Kaya hindi siya makatotohanan. Kaya most of the time, ang makikita nyo ay meron tong exaggeration sa kanyang images. Or meron siyang dreamlike effect. For technology naman, it presents the modernity of life wherein it was used as inspiration by the artist. The wondrous use of machines, the towering skyscrapers, state-of-the-art robotics technology, top-of-the-line transportation machineries, just like cars, ships, motorcycles, are the interest on their technology. After determining kung ano yung magiging subject ninyo, you will now choose kung ano yung way of presenting the subject ninyo. For such, we have the following: realism, naturalism, abstraction, symbolism, fauvism, dadaism, futurism, surrealism, and expressionism. Si realism, the arts is generally the attempt to represent subject matter truthfully without artificiality and avoiding speculative fiction and supernatural elements. So in this area or in this method, they are presenting the reality. Whether that is the ugly part of the society or not, they will present it as it is. And kapag ka gumagamit ng realism, usually ang ginagawa ay the people in action. So hindi siya farmer na nakatayo lang, pero farmer na nagtatanim. Kung ikukumpara naman natin sa naturalism, the art here is the depiction of realistic objects in a natural setting. Therefore, they are naturalizing their subject para makita ng audience in a natural setting. Ito yung possible na idealized form natin ng isang bagay. Halimbawa ng isang society. So, si realism, yan yung true na form of art wherein nagbe-base siya sa reality, and naturalism naman ay sa ideals. We have here the example for realism and naturalism. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, most of the time sa realism, they show the people in action, or they show reality in action. We have here the stone breakers, at for naturalism naman ay haymaking. Realism ay mas nakafocus sa ordinary people. Si naturalism naman ka-base sa mga higher classes or nasa elite members of the society. There are cases na ipinapakita nila yung lower classes. However, masyadong pessimist compared sa realism na they show humanism and optimism. Si realism, pinapakita niya moral truths. Sa naturalism naman, ang pinapakita niya ay illusions. For abstraction, its roots are in intuition of the artist and freedom for the artist as well as for the viewer. We have here distortion, elongation, mangling, and cubism. Remember na kapag ka-abstraction yung method ninyo, possible na isang part lang ng inyong artwork ang merong abstraction at hindi lahat. We have here the examples for abstraction, for distortion, elongation, mangling, and cubism. Itong unang pictures natin, ang tinatawag natin na distortion, kung saan whole image siya pero merong particular part ang dinistort. Halimbawa, yung paggawa ninyo ng swirls sa isang image ay called distortion. Next ay elongation. Sa elongation naman ay ini-expand, ini-elongate ang parts or yung buong painting or image to create the lengthy perspective. Next ay mangling. For mangling, meron tong laceration, cut, or mutilated part na pinapakita sa kanyang audience. Isa sa mga common examples sa ginagamitan ng mangling ay sa prosthetics. Halimbawa, zombies, gagamitan nila to ng mangling. Then cubism naman ay the combination of figures and forms to create the artwork. Kaya edgy ang cubism. Symbolism, Fauvism, Dadaism, Futurism, Surrealism, and Expressionism. Si symbolism, ginagamit ito for a particular concept to be visible para may pakita sa audience kung ano yung meaning or kung ano yung definition ng particular word na yon. Si Fauvism naman is characterized by strong colors and fierce brushwork. It is to establish joy, comfort, and pleasure. So, kapag ka Fauvism, kahit pa unrealistic yung colors, ginagamit pa rin yan para may pakita yung joy, comfort, and pleasure. Kaya usually, strong colors ang ginagamit kasi they want to lighten up the mood of the viewers. Then Dadaism naman is a protest movement in the art that is playful and experimental. Why so? Kasi Dadaism started as a modification only from an existing artwork. And that Dadaism tend to show the viewers about the ugly part of the society or the wickedness of the society. Nag-start to sa The Fountain ni Duchamp, wherein na-question ito dahil nga ginawan mo lang naman ng modification yung urinal. Paano natin masasabi na ito isang artwork? Pero for Duchamp, when it comes to art, it shows your creativity, it shows your perspective regarding different things. Kaya makakwalify yung pag-modify niya sa isang urinal as a form of art. In that sense, na-consider siya as revolt against tradition dahil hindi nagpa-follow ang Dadaism ng principles of art and yun nga, it shows the wickedness in its presentation. So the aim of this method is to shock and provoke its viewers. Next ay Futurism. So futurist painters wanted their works to capture the mechanical energy of modern life. This was developed in Italy about the same time as Cubism appeared in France to show the modernity or to show mechanical energy of modern life. They use futuristic features or they use skyscrapers or yung mga possible na mangyari in the future. Surrealism. This method mirrors the evils of the present society. Surrealism means superrealism. It is influenced by Freudian psychology, which emphasizes the activities of the subconscious state of mind. The art movement began in Paris in 1924 by French poet André Breton. It emphasized the activities of the subconscious mind, mostly exemplifying violence and cruelty. The surrealist aim is to reveal the deep and ugly part of the human nature. Expressionism naman, this features artworks describing pathos, morbidity, chaos, or even defeat, and was introduced in Germany from 1900s to 1910. Expressionists believe that man needs spiritual rebirth for him to correct defects that ruin the society. Let's take a look kung anong pinagkaiba nitong mga to. Kasi kung titingnan ninyo, parang pare-parehas lang naman. They show the wickedness, they show the ugly part of the society, they show the negative side of the society. Yun nga lang, ang pinagkaiba-iba niya ay sa Dadaism, they use an existing artwork already para may pakita yung kanyang point of view. Si Futurism naman, it looks into the future, kung ano yung possible happenings in the future. The Surrealism expressed the evilness of the society pero wala siyang binibigay na solusyon compared to Expressionism that they push na spiritual rebirth ang kinakailangan ng mga tao for us to fix or for us to correct the defects of the society. So we have here an example of Mona Lisa in multiverse. Mona Lisa for symbolism, this one is used for symbolism ng beauty back then. Kahit hindi natin kilala kung sino si Mona Lisa talaga, still, during the Renaissance period, ginamit ito as symbolism for beauty. Then we have here, Faubism na Mona Lisa. Kung ikukumpara natin dito sa una, iba yung colors na ginamit kay Mona Lisa, wherein, yun ang nakalagay para sa ating Faubism. It used strong colors. Next ay si Dadaism na Mona Lisa. Nag-exist na yung painting na Mona Lisa. Now, gumamit tayo ng cat para mai-represent yung image ni Mona Lisa. Bakit? Balik kayo sa intention or aim ng Dadaism to provoke the society, to provoke the audience. And somehow, this Dadaism is a mockery to the original Mona Lisa kasi pinalitan niya ng animal yung people or yung subject ng Mona Lisa. Next, we have here Futurism. Tulad niya ng sabi ko kanina, when it comes to Futurism, they show skyscrapers or gumagamit ito ng technology as the subject. And kung titignan ninyo, mas light na yung complexion ni Mona Lisa compared to the original version, and the clothing of Mona Lisa is also different. Tapos sa background, instead na nature, makakakita tayo ng buildings. For Expressionism naman, Mona Lisa using abstraction, and they want you to view it na merong kinalaman sa spiritual rebirth at meron tong reflection about the evilness of the society. Then we have Surrealism na Mona Lisa. Once again, Surrealism when it comes to Mona Lisa or Surrealism ay may connection to Freudian psychology, and at the same time, it aims to reveal the deep and ugly part of human nature.